Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Truly Bedrock Season 0. I hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic today. Today we're starting off over here at the Guardian Farm. We haven't really, showed this place on camera anytime recently, but it does still exist and it still works great. And it's still producing like a ton of profits for us as well. And as you can see, it's just only mildly laggy, but it still produces like a ton of experience. Really nice farm to have. But anyway, the reason why we're starting off over here today is because we're actually going to be working in this area on a double blaze farm. So we have a little teeny tiny nether fortress that is just right over there. You can barely see it on the left side of the screen. And in this little nether fortress is actually a double blaze spawner. So I would like to turn that double blaze spawner into a double blaze farm in this episode. I'm not sure if that's really going to be possible. I'm pretty sure it's actually a double blaze, spawner. Like there's two right there. I'm just not sure if they can both be activated from one spot. So that's gonna be kind of like the main project for today's episode. Really curious if we can actually get that thing to be fully functional, but I think it'll be pretty fun. So because we're gonna be working on that double blaze farm today, we're not really gonna be working on the mini base in this episode. We'll be doing a ton of work on this recently. However, I do want to head over to Puffer Reef, which is in like the southwest corner of the map. I believe it's over that direction, and get ourselves a bunch of coral, because we're actually going to be making a couple of like aquariums and stuff in the mini base. So as you can see, we have Puffer Reef over here, and this is the Island of the Undead where we are currently standing, and there are a lot of squares on spawn. That's kind of cool looking. There's clearly a lot of plans happening over there. Okay, well it turns out this place is actually fairly massive, so maybe we don't really need to worry about other people taking all the coral here. There's random diorite floating around. But yeah, there's actually a ton of stuff here. Fantastic. We can kill all the stupid little fishies as well, because there's too many of them. Oh, and then there's pufferfish as well. I totally want to grab a few of these guys, because these guys are just perfect. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and grab a whole bunch of different resources from here. All right, so there is a lot of coral harvested, and this stuff actually takes quite a while. It's a very slow process, very slow to mine, and it floats everywhere, and then you start drowning, and yeah, it's just not the easiest process. Well, I guess it's actually pretty easy, just mildly tedious. Anyway, we now have all the coral that we'll ever need. I didn't actually pick up that shulker box. I'm glad I noticed that, because that actually has all the coral in it. Anyway, this is definitely going to come in handy for all the future aquariums and guardian tanks that we'll be building in the mini base. Oh, come on. I'm just trying to get back to the base, and then the chunks aren't loading. Jeez, I'm pretty sure Daphne's online right now. She's over there at her base, most likely. But everything else is broken. I don't want to go into these unloaded chunks. I've already done that once. I died. I lost 90 levels for some unknown reason. Like, I don't even know how I died from that. But great. Just unloaded chunks for no reason. Bedrock, what can you do? It's Bedrock. At least we can see that there's like some zombies down there. That's not very useful. It is kind of cool seeing the flying fish though. Yep. Bedrock. No additional commentary, just Bedrock. These chunks are loading fine, just not the chunks with my base in it. Jeez. That's lovely. Daphne's at her base. Okay, so it's loading from this side. Her base is fine, just literally not ours. Okay. The one place that I need to go. Oh my god, come on now, game. What are you doing? Oh man, and now Daphne's not even on my side. She's not having these chunks load either. I just was here at the base like 10 minutes ago, and then she logged in, and now none of these chunks are loading, and they're not loading for her either. Jeez, and she doesn't even believe it. She thinks I broke it. The only thing that happened is her logging in since I left the base. Jeez. Anyway, since Bedrock Edition decides that I don't deserve a base right now, we're not gonna work at the base for the moment. We are instead gonna go ahead and do a little bit of work on the Guardian Farm, because, the Guardian Farm is slightly broken. So, well, I guess technically the Guardian Farm isn't broken, but two of our iron farms are broken. So the north side and the south side iron farms have gotten their villagers completely zapped by lightning. And this is a bug because in 1.10, the current update for Bedrock, you know, the lightning is not supposed to strike through blocks. We had a block above their head right here, a nice little fancy slab, and that was supposed to protect them from lightning, but they got hit by lightning anyway, so we lost to 10 villagers here, 10 villagers over there, and we need to get villagers back in there, which is the biggest pain in the butt you can possibly imagine because they barely ever want to breed, and it's just a whole nightmare, and I already did it once, and it's going to be really fun. And the next thing that I would like to do at the Guardian Farm, since we're going to be over here for a little while, is I would like to make a nice way from this nether portal right here over to that platform so that you don't have to swim or boat or walk or fly or riptide trident or pogo stick or anything. I just want to raise that portal up to the same level as that little AFK spot and then make a nice little ice road, and hopefully that is all fine. So it's just after the live stream now, which was a YouTube one. You guys may or may not have been there for that, in which case thank you very much for stopping by the stream. But if you do want to catch these YouTube live streams, they are pretty much every Thursday. You guys can get notified of them by subscribing or anything like that. But anyway, long story short, we were able to break into the base by kind of digging downwards, as you can see from our pillars, but it's still not really having it. Like, you can see issues are still just happening. Oh, hi, that was a little bit of a fall down. Don't know what's up with that. Yeah, so it's slightly more here, but yeah. I just logged in. I'm the only person online. I think the realm should have reset. If not, we're gonna need to like get Foxy and then have him actually do a proper realm reset, because if you're not aware, realms actually like shut down after 5 minutes with no one being online, and that apparently did not fix this. Rockets aren't even working. Jeez. Oh man, no, not these chunks too. Oh god, why am I falling? Oh god, no. No, come on. Okay, everything is dying now. I'm probably gonna die from that fall, aren't I? Oh, come on. I'd rather have the Guardian Farm back. Thank you very much. You can take the base. Take the base, please. Take the base. I need the Guardian Farm back. Oh my god, come on. See, look at that. I just fell straight down. Oh, hi. Okay. I'm just gonna park it on the nose of the ship here, and I'm just gonna go log out and eat some food or drink some tea, probably both. And I'm just gonna hope that Bedrock gets its stuff together and figures out how to give me back my Guardian Farm and my base. Okay, it looks like things are actually back to normal now. It is about time. I have been not able to get to my base all day. Thank you, game. Yay, this is awesome. Let's quickly fly over to the Guardian Farm and see what things look like over here. Chunks are finally back. It's about time. And we did actually accomplish something kind of on that YouTube stream. So as you guys can see, we have this new little like ice road. This actually took way longer to build than it might look, but this goes from our nether portal to our AFK room so that people can more easily use the Guardian Farm and give us sweet, sweet diamonds. We also got a couple of villagers in that iron farm. Need to wait for those guys to grow up and then I'll breed them. And we got one villager in this iron farm and need to get another one. Need to wait for them to grow up and breed them as well, but that is all good and well. One more thing I almost forgot to mention is that someone actually died from this entire incident. TNC Cuban, I think, was just coming through from the nether, ended up right here in the corner in the unloaded chunks and completely died. And all of his stuff is in this box here, so hopefully he'll log back on and get all that stuff in due time, hopefully. But I was actually able to save it. I just like barely noticed it out of the corner of my eye while I was over here breaking in through the ceiling. So yeah, luckily none of his stuff actually despawned. So where exactly is this legendary double spawner of doom? Well, it's right over here in this tiny little fortress. I think we can fly over this landmass, and yeah, it should be right down here. So we have one blaze spawner right here. As you can see, spawns blazes, and that guy was a one-shot kill. Okay, I'm gonna go with it, why not? we have another blaze spawner right over here, and that is pretty close. And I'm really hoping that this is actually a proper double. So you can have two spawners in close proximity, but the only way it's actually like a proper technical double spawner is if you can activate both at one time from a single spot. How many mobs are down there? Jeez, let's get rid of those guys. These guys are all butts. Did they drop me a wither skull? It's hard to tell, but there's another blaze. Jeez, get out of here, guys. I don't want to die, just trying to clear out the area. Let's go ahead and get rid of these two guys as well. And yeah, basically I just need to go ahead and mine out a little bit of room so that I can see both of these two spawners. And then I'll hopefully have a double spawner here. Oh man, it's not a true double spawner. So we can activate that one from this block right here. And then we can activate the other one from this block right here. Yeah, about right here. You can see them actually activate when they get the particles and they start spinning. And there's like a 6-block gap in between these two. So that is extremely inconvenient. I guess we're gonna have to go find another double spawner. This one could still be turned into a 2-blaze spawner farm, but you would need 2 players to really get the most use out of it. So I'm gonna need to go ahead and look for a double spawner because I want to do this project. I want this to happen, and this one would have been really convenient because it's just so close to all the infrastructure that we already have in the Nether. But apparently, the game isn't on my side today. So this isn't something that I would normally do. However, I know a lot of you are going to be curious about this, so I figured I may as well share with you the process for finding spawners really easily on the Bedrock edition of Minecraft. So right here in front of us, we have MCC Tool Chest PE, and this is basically like pretty much the only world edit tool for Bedrock that's actually at all competent, but it's still kind of janky, but it gets the job done. So basically what I did is I went ahead and created a completely different copy of Truly Bedrock just using the same seed, and I explored a ton of the Nether using fireworks and rockets. As you can see, we have a ton of different regions here. Each region is 500 by 500, so I've explored quite a bit to try and find these spawners. So what we can do from here is hit the little, little magnifying glass, find entity, and then that'll pop up a new window. We can switch it to search in the Nether, put in our spawner and just hit search, and that will find us every single spawner in this entire dimension that has been generated. You can click on that, it'll open up the chunk that it's in. I'm not too worried about that. What I want to do is hit the little map in the upper left. That'll pop open another window. It should be around here somewhere. Where'd it go? There it is. Open, thank you. Sometimes this program is a little bit janky. We're going to switch this one to Nether as well. And as you can see, I have actually generated quite a bit of area. All of this gray area is basically the top of the bedrock ceiling in the Nether. And there's my little player head sitting at 0, in the Nether. So I would preferably like to find some spawners within these 4 big red squares right here, because each one of these is a region, 500 by 500. Anything past this little border is going to be 1,000 blocks away from the center little Nether hub, so that's not really the greatest. What we can do from here is go ahead and turn on show search results, and as you can see, there's now a bunch of little spawners marked on the server. So we can use this little map menu and this entity search menu over here to find double spawners, and I found a total of 2 within this 500 by 500 area. There is this one right over here, and this one down here as well. Now I know Slack has been looking for a double blaze spawner as well, so one of these is likely claimed by him, in which case we will be taking the other one. And in case you're curious, this right here is the fake double blaze spawner that has brutally denied us its blaze rods. So from that searching, we did find 2 double spawners, and it turns out that neither of these are claimed, as Slack actually went over 1,000 blocks away from spawn. So as you can see, we have this one here, which is a double, and this one is a little bit crazy, but it does give us plenty of room to work with. So the other one that we have is this one over here, which is a little bit more tame. We can be completely lined up with that one. Plenty of room to build a farm under it to funnel those guys into a kill chamber. And then this one over here would be the problem one, but this one, it doesn't seem too bad either. So I'm thinking what we might go ahead and do is this one right here, and I guess let me actually get prepared on the server and maybe get over here as well. Then we can actually start building up this farm in survival on the actual Truly Bedrock realm. Okay, rips, run, 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 run. I just dropped down into the fortress, and I didn't quite mean to, and this was a terrible, 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 terrible idea. Oh, there are wither skeletons absolutely everywhere. Yeah, not only them, but also skeletons as well, and I'm not wearing a chest plate, and yeah, I was not expecting that, but we are here in the Nether Fortress, and things are very, very undead. So here we are on the actual server, and I've mined out quite a bit of space around these two blaze spawners. There is one right there and one right there, and this piece of birch is the exact center where we can stand and activate both of these. And now I haven't actually tested if we can in survival, so I guess we should go ahead and pop out that block there and pop out the other one over here as well. But hopefully you guys don't mind the use of World Edit to actually find these. The way I see it is that it's no different than really using a website to find slime chunks or anything. Like, technically you can find slime chunks in survival, but nobody does that. They all use a website because finding them in survival is such a pain. This isn't really any different. We're just using World Edit to find these things instead of using a website. So it's not really all that different, honestly. We're just saving like many hours and reducing the world size a ton by going directly to these spawners. We're not actually getting any like items or anything in survival. Didn't actually do any editing, and it was on a copy of the world as well, so I don't really see it as that big of a deal. But we do have two blaze spawners now. They can both be activated from the same location, which is that one little block right here. And I kind of need to figure out how exactly I'm actually going to set up these farms. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never built a double blaze farm before, and these things are really weird on Bedrock Edition as well because, well, everything is weird on Bedrock Edition. Oh, also, since I don't really show that much admin stuff that much, let me know in the poll in the upper right now if you guys want to see more like behind the scenes of how things really work or just how I do things. And let me know if a poll, and I might show you guys more stuff like the world edit in the future. So here we are on my creative redstone world, the one that's seen much better days. Thanks, Bedrock. And I just had a little bit of an idea for how to simplify the version 3 blaze farm that I did a tutorial on. So basically I raised the floor up by 1, made it out of obsidian. This could be made out of terracotta or leaves or whatever. But that makes it so that these blazes never get dealt damage, and they hardly ever jump over the flying machine, which is really lovely. They don't even get hurt when they go against the wall right there, which is nice. And that seems to work out pretty wonderfully. So I think I'll use this little modification on the server for the double blaze farm. Okay, that one took a hit of damage. That's fine. Not too worried about that. That's gonna be a pretty rare occurrence. So the reason why I moved the flying machine down is because this bug is still around where slime blocks actually suffocate mobs and players. So we need to kind of fix that. Now it's not that big of an issue with the version 3. It doesn't deal that much damage to them, but I'm trying to make things as smooth as possible for our double farm. So I've done a little bit of planning for this blaze spawner right here, the lower one. This one is going to be the hassle, and the reason for that is we don't have very much room to work with. So as you can see, I've marked out the bottom platform. The flying machine is going to be at this layer right here. It's going to fly underneath the wall and bring all the blazes in this entire room to this little trough to drop them down. And then I'm thinking we'll have another flying machine flying at this layer right here, and that will push all the blazes this way to our kill chamber. Now, the thing about them being at this height is they're not really going to fall into a kill chamber that easily, so we need to find some sort of solution to that, and I think my solution is going to be to just raise all of this up by a singular block. Now, the thing about that is that any blazes standing at this layer are still going to be within range of that spawner, and they're going to block more blazes from spawning while they're at this height. So that's a slight inefficiency of the farm, but some sacrifices must be made for the greater good. So my original idea was to use the version 2 blaze farm, the one with all of the pistons and everything, for this main spawner, because we have so much available room underneath it. However, I kind of want to do a flying machine only farm, a little bit of asterisks around the only because we're going to need a couple pistons and a couple small areas, but for the most part, I think we're just going to go ahead and use only flying machines for the bulk of this entire blaze farm, and that should be really, really cool. So I'm just going to continue on planning, and hopefully we can get a bit more done of this in this episode. All right, so I more or less have the entire plan for how this blaze farm is going to go. We're going to have the upper farm right here with a flying machine, and that goes back and forth, knocking all of the blazes off this platform into this trench. We're gonna have another flying machine flying from this direction towards this way, knocking all of the blazes from the trench into this hole. And then on this one right here, we'll probably just have like a piston pushing guys over. They'll all fall down the hole. We'll have yet another flying machine right here that will push all of these trenches, or all of the blazes from this trench, into the kill chamber. We're gonna have a 3-wide kill chamber with some trident killers. We'll explain that probably in the next episode. And then kind of the same story for this one as well. Flying machine running at this layer, pushing all the blazes from this platform into this trench, and another one flying all the way the length of this trench down into the kill chamber. It should be fairly simple, but unfortunately I do not have the time to throw this together in this episode. It took a lot more time to actually do what we've done in today's episode than I thought it would. The corrupted chunks and not loadingness of things really put a monkey wrench in things as well. So, we didn't quite get everything done that we planned today, but we did get a solid head start. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. So I could go ahead and delay this episode and build up all these farms and stuff, but that would be rather rushed, and I'd rather just get a nicely paced episode out to you guys on time as per usual, so you guys can just enjoy this. And then in the next episode, we can go ahead and actually spend a nice amount of time on this, get it fully done, and maybe even decorated as well. I mean, think about that. The option of like having something nice built by Silent, like that's a miracle. That never happens. I don't build anything nice looking. That's not like in my DNA. But hopefully you all did enjoy this episode. As always, be sure to leave a vote on the poll in the iCards of this episode for if you want to see more behind the scenes kind of admin things, and whenever stuff like that happens, I will go ahead and show it to you guys because I don't know, apparently you guys are interested in that if you vote on the poll. Anyway, yeah, vote on the poll. Also, if you did enjoy this episode, leave a like, helps out the video and the channel significantly. Let me know your thoughts about this episode down in the comment section as always. And if you're new here, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next episode where we build up this farm. But thank you all very much for watching, and thank you very much for the support as always. I'll see you down in the comment section and in the next one. And then there was silence.